Alrighty, level 3 glute exercises. Make sure you've watched level 1 and 2 before you get started with these ones. These are going to be more advanced glute exercises for runners. So definitely for somebody who has done some glute training before and feels ready to do some of the more advanced exercises that are really going to challenge those glute muscles and push you to the next level of your single leg and glute strength training. So if you're ready to get started, we'll get straight into it. The only piece of equipment you need is a resistance band. No other equipment is needed. You can easily do these exercises at home. All right, let's get started, guys. So exercise 1 in level 3 glutes is going to be a single leg bridge with your head on a chair. So we did similar exercises in level 2, but we're going to make them a bit harder in level 3. So you're going to need a chair, something sturdy that you can rest your head and shoulders on. You can use a couch, but I prefer something a little bit more solid like a dining chair. So all you're going to do is rest your head and shoulders on the edge of your chair. Your feet, knees and hips are all in line. So make sure that your knees are not collapsing in. Nice and aligned there. And then in level 2, we did this bridging motion. In level 3, we're going to do the same thing, but single leg. So you can bring your feet a little bit closer in, lift one foot off the ground, hands are still across your chest, and you're lifting up, squeezing your glute. Lifting up, squeezing your glute. Really focusing on lifting that glute up as much as you can. Hold for a second and then come back down. You shouldn't be feeling any strain in your lower back as you do this, because you're really isolating your movement to just your hip. Your lower back isn't arching as you do this. You should just feel that in that glute. Make sure your knee is also aligned, not collapsing in as you do this. And you're going for 8 to 10 reps on each leg. This next exercise is a progression to one we did in level 2, which was the side plank with the hip lift. So in level 2, you did it on your knees. In level 3, we're going to go into a full side plank. So get into your side plank position with your elbow right underneath your shoulder. Prop yourself up nice and tall through that, through your hips there, so you're not sagging. Lift your hips up, hands on the top of your hip, and you're lifting that top leg up and down. Nice and controlled with this one. Don't let your hip drop. Steady leg lifts. 8 to 10 reps on this one. All right, for this next exercise, you're going to need a chair or a bench, something that you can rest your foot on. So we're going to start in this split stance position. So one foot is going to go on the step. The other foot is going to go straight out in front of you in a fairly long stance. Don't start off too close. You're going to struggle to do the exercise from here. So nice and far. Foot resting comfortably on the chair. Up to you whether you have your foot like that or like that. Either way is fine. With your front leg, make sure that your knee and your foot are facing forward. Don't let yourself rotate one way or the other. So everything is lined up nice and straight. And then to do the exercise, you're just dropping that back knee down to the floor and then coming back up. As you go into this lunge, make sure that your front knee isn't collapsing in. So front knee faces forward. You're really controlling that movement up and down. On your front leg, weight should be mostly on your heel, so your toes should stay fairly light. And you should be feeling that on that back glute. This next exercise is going to be a supported single leg squat. So you're going to use a chair or a kitchen bench, something to balance on. And then you're going to stand on one leg. Weight is on your heels, toes are nice and light, and then you're going to go down into a squatting movement and then come back up. So sit your hips back and down and then come back up. As you're squatting down, you should feel that glute engaging. Make sure that your knee isn't collapsing in. So you don't want to be letting your knee or your foot drop in as you do this. Foot should stay nice and straight. And you're leading the movement with your hip. Chest stays tall as well. Use the bench or your chair to really support your balance. And focus on getting the right movement with that single leg. And you're going for 8 to 10 reps on each side. The last exercise is a side-stepping crab walk with the band around your feet. So you're going to loop the band around your feet. And we're going to start with your feet slightly wider than your hips. And you're going to go into a very slight squat. So just moving your hips back a little bit. In the starting position, feet are facing forward, knees are in line with your feet. Don't let this happen. Knees pressed out into that slight squat. Weight is on your heels. So from here, we're going to do little side steps. So every time you step out further, you're pulling on that resistance band, but your knees are staying outwards as you do this. A couple of mistakes people often make is they let knees buckle as they move their knees out. So avoid that, keep your knees in line, and also avoid bouncing. You shouldn't be going up and down with that movement. So sit into your squat, get your knees and ankles in line, and then you're just slowly, smoothly stepping out. Aiming for about 10 steps in each direction. And that's it for those level 3 advanced glute exercises for runners. Give those a go at home. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below as always. And if you've been following me for a while, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button.